Welcome back to SouFLoTV again, everybody. It is your host with the most. I know today is the 6th of July, 2026, and we normally go live this time of the morning, but I'm not going to go live this morning. I will be heading into Miami this morning to see my dentist to fix some dental work, right? But in the meantime, this one right here, no long introduction or anything. Let's get right into this. I feel like I need to say a prayer first for the persons who are involved in this and for you, the people who are about to hear this. You know, I pray that your life or my life never becomes this adventurous and this complicated. Let's get into the story. This is one of those Dear SouFlo stories, okay? Dear SouFlo XYZ. This particular individual called me and said, SouFlo, you're not doing my story. And I said, what story? The person said, I emailed you, I sent you my story, and I wanted you to read it on your Dear SouFlo segment of your SouFLoTV. And I said, I can't find it. Send it to me again. Boy, me don't know enough. After I got it and I read it, I was like, I stopped halfway through reading it. Anyway, let's get into the story. What I normally ask people to do at this point, when you hear these stories, is please treat these people like somebody that you know. Treat these people like a complicated family member or a concerned person, a person who is concerned for somebody that you respect, love, or care about, or something like that, right? Because I don't want people to look at us as a group of people who are too judgmental for them to send a Dear SouFlo in. And for those of you who have intentions of sending a Dear SouFlo, please send it. I will read it. It may take me a time to get to it because I have a lot of them piled up, and it may take me a time to get to it, but I will get to it, okay? Now, without further ado, let's get into this story. Dear SouFlo, it says, greetings and big up yourself. I am a Jamaican myself, but I am also an undercover gay or undercover Batman, as us Jamaicans call it. My story is a little bit crazy because it involves my sister and her husband plus myself. I want to say, don't judge me, but I know you and your audience will judge me anyways. LOL. Laugh out loud. Oh, there will be some judging. My question to you though is, do you think that I should come clean with my sister and tell her everything that happened, or do you think I should let it slide? Pay attention, y'all. Here is my story. This is where it begins. I remember when my sister first met her husband. As her boyfriend, she started bringing him over to the house to be around our family. From day one, his energy was attracted to my energy. We would lock eyes and make intense eye contact all the time. I wanted to tell my sister that I think he is gay from the very beginning, but I did not want her to say I was jealous or I was trying to hate on her relationship. Over time, this energy that I felt from day one became more and more pronounced. The frequency got louder and louder. And I would say within about a year of him being with my sister, me and him were reading each other very clear. At this point, it was straight up flirting. Yes, SouFLo, I was flirting with my sister's boyfriend, and he was going out of his way every chance he gets to flirt with me, too. Mind you, I had not come out of the closet as gay yet. And to this day, I still have not come out as gay. So only those who are really close to me know that I am that way. Everybody else thinks I am a gallus because I have a lot of girlfriends. But in reality, I am one of the girls. LOL. Anyway, SouFLo, I did not know how to tell my sister at this point because over a year had passed when I realized that she was madly in love with this guy and was now talking about getting married to him and saying yes if he asks her to. But at the same time, I was starting to like him for myself. He is really good looking and tall and juicy. LOL. Juicy. Juicy. Don't judge me. Oh, don't judge me, SouFLo. Let me read that part over again. I'll go back over this. It says, I had not come out as gay yet, and to this day I still have not come out as gay, so only those who are really close to me know that I am that way. Everybody else thinks I am a gallus because I have a lot of girlfriends, but in reality I am one of the girls. Anyway, SouFLo, I did not know how to tell my sister at this point because over a year had passed when I realized that she was madly in love with this guy and was now talking about getting married to him and saying yes if he asked her to. But at the same time, I was starting to like him for myself. He is really good looking and tall and juicy. LOL. Don't judge me, SouFLo. God will. LOL. I was having fantasies about him and used to make plans for me and him in my head to do some hot, steamy things. Your sister man. You a man. But I know he was off limits because he was my sister's man and I would not go that far. At this point, I do not want to give too much away because your platform is big and I am sure if I say things a certain way, I could give away my identity. Let's just say time went by and they got married. He proposed, my sister said yes, and they were supposed to live happily ever after, but this is where things get a little crazy. Alright, from reading this to this point before, hold on to your seats right now because now it's going to get a lot crazy. This a person said a little crazy, but this is not a little, this is a lot. And like I said, I pray none of you life ever become this adventurous or tumultuous or however you want to look at it. Let's get into it. Things gets a little crazy. So he says, days before their wedding, his sister and her man wedding, days before their wedding, I got a text from that guy. And he said there is something he wants to get out of his system before he goes ahead and makes this lifetime commitment to my sister. Mind you, me and him had flirted with eye contact before many times. Sometimes very intensely, like no mistaking that is what it was. but we had never had a one-on-one conversation before, and we had never communicated by text or anything before either. You know how they say it takes one to know one? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Well, it took him to know me. He wanted me to come see him at some place so he could tell me all the things he wanted to get out of his system. And honestly, I thought it was going to be some things he might want me to help him to tell my sister. But what it turned out to be was one passionate session with me and him. Wait. When he sent me his message, I was on my way to work, and he said it could not wait, and he would pay me for the day if I could even take the day off. I told him I made $250 per day, and he said he would double it and pay me $500. But I needed to call in sick, and I did. The first thing he did when I got there was handed me 5 crispy new $100 bills. Soon as I put the money in my pocket, that man pushed me up against the wall and gave me some vicious head. Ugh. People, y'all with me still? The first thing he did when I got there, and let's go back over this. So he wanted me to come see him. Hold on, may I reverse this all the way back. He wanted me to come see him someplace so he could tell me all the things he wanted to get out of his system. And honestly, I thought it was going to be some things he might want me to help him to tell my sister. I guess since they were getting married. But what it turned out to be was one passionate session with me and him. When he sent his message, I was on my way to work, and he said it could not wait, and he would pay me for the day if I could even take the day off. I told him I made $250 per day, and he said he would double it and pay me $500, but I needed to call in sick, and I did. Called in sick and went over there. The first thing he did when I got there was hand me 5 crispy new $100 bills. Soon as I put the money in my pocket, that man pushed me up against the wall and gave me some vicious head. Head. LOL. I don't know how he got down there so fast, but the way he did that, I could tell he was very experienced at sucking you know what. Oh, needless to say, he did everything. Needless to say, he did everything, and I returned the favor. After it was done, it was as if he was scorning me or having big regrets. I left in such a daze. I went back to my apartment, took off my clothes, and put my pants in the washing machine with the $500 cash, with the $500 cash in my pocket, in the pocket. I did not even care about the money. I was more concerned about how my fantasies had just really happened in real life, and if he was going to back out of marrying my sister at the last. The day of their wedding, he sent me a text that said, "Our secret is buried forever, like it never happened." I think I was left in shock, SouFLo. I could not believe he was still going to marry my sister. Bumbleclot. Fast forward years later now, and they have been married for a while, and they have built a beautiful life together. If you see him today, he is the perfect father, and no one would suspect that this man would do those things. I look at my sister and her children, and I see how happy she is and how happy he makes her, and it makes it even more difficult to tell her what happened. I honestly think he is still cheating on my sister with other men. He is very He is very nuch. They put nuch, N-U-C-H. It's a mistake. He is very much a part of our family. Now, my parents love him, and he is the perfect father to their children. What's weird to me, though, is after that one encounter, he never flirted with me ever again. And it makes me wonder, how did he know that I was that way? I am not feminine in any way, and I don't give off any gay hints. To this day, my family, including my sister, thinks I am a dog. D-O-G-G-G, dog. As we say in Jamaican culture, a gallus. My biggest fear is that he will one day give my poor sister AIDS or something. My biggest fear is that he will one day give my poor sister AIDS or something. Ask your audience, what would they do? Sometimes I feel like telling her, especially when we are having our disagreements. But most times I think it's just best to let it go. I tune into your channel every single day, so I will be reading the comments when you post this one. Tell them, don't beat me too hard, LOL, and thanks SouFLo. Enough respect. I had to read this uncomfortableness. So, you have to go through this uncomfortableness with me. Now let's unpack this. Let me put it back at the top of the email, and we're going to unpack this together. So from my understanding here, from my understanding here, this is a man. This is a man who has a sister. This is a man who has a sister who has a man that started out as a boyfriend, normal life stuff, dating, courting, intentional, and it led to marriage. You, as a man, started flirting with your sister's man way back when they were boyfriend and girlfriend. When he first started coming around, she would bring him around to the house, to the family gatherings, stuff like that. You and him kept locking eyes over. Does my audience remember? Do y'all remember when I said to you, remember when I asked y'all the question, I believe it was a couple of weeks ago or probably a month or two ago, when I asked the question, I said, do you think that you can control who you are attracted to? And a lot of you said yes. And I said, no, I don't think so. I wasn't thinking this far, but I was thinking along the lines, because I was thinking along the lines of a man and a woman, and you walk into a room and there's a woman there that you are super attracted to as a man, or vice versa. You're not able to control that you suddenly find this person attractive, whether it's because people just show up, right? You're walking in the grocery store, you're just pushing your cart, you taking stuff off the aisle. I'm here to get milk, I got the bottle of milk, I'm here to get a bread, I got a loaf of bread, and you look up and you're like, damn. Okay, I'm married, go about my business, right? It's one of those. So you're not, I don't think you're able to control who or what you find attractive. What I did said was, what I do think you are able to do and should be able to do is control the impulse to let that go further. You can be attracted to people and they don't know it. People are attracted to you and you don't know it, because they are exercising self-control and impulse control. And that is where the weak is separated from the strong. But as far as you initially being attracted to something or someone, you don't control that. That's an instinctual thing. If I apply that to this story, this guy said when his sister, man, first started coming over, they would make eye contact all the time, and it started out light first, and then it turned into intense eye contact to the point where he was absolutely sure now that this was definitely flirting. Now mind you, he is a undercover homosexual man. He's hiding, he's in the closet, nobody knows except for, I think he said in here, people closest to him know. Apparently his sister is not one of the closest to him, or his family, because they don't know. To this day, they still think he's a gallus because he has a lot of girls. But those girls are friends, and he is one of the girls. So you mean to tell me, say, your sister husband then, who was her boyfriend back then, saw through all that? Maybe he knew people that actually really know you. I remember when my sister first met her husband as her boyfriend, she started bringing him over to the house to be around our family from day one. His energy was attracted to my energy. That's what the person said. We would lock eyes and make intense eye contact all the time. I wanted to tell my sister that I think he is gay from the very beginning, but I did not want her to say I was jealous or I was trying to hate on her relationship. Why would your sister say you're jealous? And right here I thought, why would your sister say you are jealous if you are a man? Or maybe your sister would say you're jealous, I don't know, maybe the sister would have said or think you're jealous because she found somebody and she's happy and you can't find nobody, or you are passing yourself around, or so she thinks, because you have all these different girls, right? Okay, I'm just looking to clarify all of this. He said I had not come out yet. I had not come out gay yet. And to this day, I still have not come out as gay. So only those who are really close to me know who I am that way. Everybody else thinks I am a gallus because I have a lot of girls, but in reality, I am one of the girls, LOL. Anyway, SouFLo, I did not know how to tell my sister at this point, because over a year had passed when I realized that she was madly in love with this guy and was now talking about getting married to him and saying yes if he asked her to. But at the same time, I was starting to like him for myself. He is really good looking and tall and juicy, LOL. Yeah, if your sister didn't know, I understand the complication, because if your sister don't know say you're gay, then you can't really go to your sister as a straight man and a Jamaican at that and say, your man tall and juicy. My sister would look at me like I'm crazy, right? Plus she didn't see you as a gay man. He said, don't judge me, SouFLo, LOL, don't judge me, SouFLo, God will. Yeah, God will. LOL. I was having fantasies about him. And I used to make plans for me and him in my head to do some hot, steamy things. But I know he was off limits because he was my sister's man and I would not go that far. But you did. You did. You did. I think this is one of the reasons why, you know, conscious people will tell you this. When you hear like Rasta people say, clean up your meditation, that's what they're talking about, because everything that you see, I want y'all to walk with this part right here. Everything you see around you, including you who sent this in, everything you see around you, right? Life lessons. Everything you see around you came from a thought. Oh, this microphone came from a thought. Somebody said, when we speak, sometimes people in the back of the room can't hear us. Let's invent something where when we speak into it, our voices are amplified. It starts as a thought. This hat started as a thought. Somebody said, it's hot outside and I don't feel like walking around with an umbrella all the time. How about a piece of clothing that would cover the head and keep the sun out our eyes? Same thing for glasses. Everything around you was a thought. So you have to be careful how you train your thought. You hear what he said? The man said him used to fantasize and make plans in his head about him and him sister man doing steamy things, nasty, what him say? Things to each other. I was having fantasies about him and used to make plans for me and him in my head to do some hot steamy things. But I know he was off limits because he was my sister's man and I would not go that far. At this point, I do not want to give too much away because your platform is big and I am sure if I say things a certain way, I could give away my identity. Let's just say, time went by and they got married. He proposed, my sister said yes, and they were supposed to live happily ever after, but this is where things get a little crazy. I'm unpacking. You got to be careful of the things that you train in your head to do and tell yourself is only a fantasy and not really real. You're eventually going to act them out. That's why Rasta say, clean up your meditation. That's why Rasta say, burn out them meditation, they burn a fire upon that, meaning get rid of that thought process. You think, and eventually find yourself doing. What you think is what you become. Yeah. Anyways, he said days before their wedding, I got a text from that guy. So this whole time he was probably plotting on you too. But you are trying to keep it fantasy because you have a lot to hide and you're undercover and you're in the closet and you're down low and he's plotting on you because him done see it already. You've given that vibes. Days before their wedding too, you know, this world is so grimy. Imagine days before your wedding. And you know, if I really think about it, I've watched porn. Okay, I'm a grown man, I can admit. Like hundreds of millions of others I've watched porn. And some of these porn are made from real life situations. Like strip clubs where men, big chisel up body men, go dance oiled up and naked, and women are there. And a lot of these women are married and or in a relationship, and they'll tell their man that it's girls' night out, we're gonna go have some fun. And a lot of the times a man can't say, nah, I don't want you going out with no damn girls' night out, because you'll be, the women usually gaslight them. Oh, you're so damn insecure, come on. You know, you could go have fun with your boys, let me have a night out with my girls. And I've seen what happens a lot of the times. I've seen guys run out on the stage and start do them dance routine, and a woman just grab that part there, the man, and just put it in her mouth. A lot of the times it happens at like bachelor parties or bachelorette parties. Say for instance, she's getting married next weekend, and her bachelorette party is her last hurrah. Same thing for the men. Bachelorette party is the last hurrah. They have strippers there. And the stripper lap dance him, zip down him pants, go to work, and friends encourage it. And they see it. And they encourage it. Knowing that this person is getting married next weekend. And they're like, get it out of your system. This is the last time you're going to be able to do something like this. So, in keeping with that, when he said days before their wedding, I got a text from that guy. And he said there's something that he wanted to get out of his system before he goes ahead and makes this lifetime commitment to my sister. Mind you, me and him had never flirted with eye contact. Me and him had flirted with eye contact before, many times, sometimes more intensely, sometimes very intensely, like no mistaking that it was what it was. But we had never had one-on-one conversation before, and we had never communicated by text or anything before. That means this was his bachelor party. This was his get it out my system, won't ever do it again kind of thing. I don't know. Even if you are gay, this is, let me be honest, my disclaimer, this is very uncomfortable for me to read, because I don't like gay stories, simply because I feel like I'm reading gay porn, and I'm a heterosexual man, so I wouldn't dive into gay porn, just like I wouldn't turn on my TV and watch gay movies or something like that, because I wouldn't find any attraction in it, and I wouldn't find anything in it that would allow me to stay there entertained. You know what I'm saying? So it goes against me and my personal belief and principles. That's first. So reading all of this right here is just like, And the Jamaican side of me wants to say, yo, run to the edge of the earth, right? And just chuck off into the universe. Me no know. But I don't want to be impartial and treating anybody like you're not, because people watch you and you can't change who watch you. I remember watching a Vybz Kartel concert, one of the concerts he did when he came home from after the prison thing, one of the more recent concerts, not his old concerts from before, and I believe this was at the Barclays. And y'all know Kartel shut down the Barclays, right? Vybz Kartel. And there's this guy who is very well known and popular on social media. Him shaped like a bag of wet rice. But he was there being very extra with his homosexual innuendos and outright behavior. He's very flamboyantly gay. And Kartel was up there on the stage, I perform, and this guy was front row up there, so, right? And I was thinking, damn, you at a Vybz Kartel concert, but he there balling out like any woman. Vybz, why? Skin out me pum pum. This is a guy at a Vybz Kartel concert. So like I said, people follow you and people have a certain level of respect for you. So I don't feel like shunning or being disrespectful to anybody. I've told my audience over the years, What you do in your personal life, gay, straight, whatever, is none of my business. And my life too busy to be concerned about who is gay or who is straight. What I'm more concerned about is who respects me. If you respect me as a human being, I respect you as a human being too. I'm not involved in your lifestyle, so it shouldn't be of my concern. You understand? So that may I try use balance myself through this. If you take me through that 1 year. Anyway, let's get back into this. I thought it was going to be something he might want me to help him to tell my sister, but what it turned out to be was one passionate session with me and him. One passionate session. When he sent his message, I was on my way to work, and he said that I could not wait, that it could not wait, and he would pay me for the day if I could even take the day off. I told him I made $250 per day, and he said he would double it and pay me $500. But I needed to call in sick, and I did. So I did have the whole day planned for now. You see? What you manifest, what you meditate, you manifest. The first thing he did when I got there was handed me 5 crispy $100, 5 crispy new $100 bills. He probably had that money sitting there, I don't know. Soon as I put the money in my pocket, that man pushed me up against the wall and gave me some vicious head. The man said vicious head. LOL. I don't know how he got down there so fast, but the way he did that, I could tell that he was very experienced at sucking you know what. And he's kissing up your sister. You know, sir, you should have did tell your sister. Because this is, let me go to the end of this. It says, ask your audience what would they do, SouFLo. Sometimes I feel like telling her, especially when we're having our disagreements. Especially when y'all are having a disagreement. So if y'all are arguing as brother and sister, you're going to throw that in your sister's face. Go ahead. That's why me ride your man. That's why me and your man, the Batman thing. I mean, how you're going to tell her through disagreement. I would advise you not to do that. That's hurtful. I would advise you not to do that. She's your sister, right? You care about her, right? The part that gets me, since you're asking what would they do, I'm asking everybody who's listening to this, who's watching this, to leave your comments in the comment section below what you would do. I'm telling you what I would do. And first of all, it's super hard for me to put myself in this position. Why? For the hard and the position. It's difficult for me to see myself in this scenario. You know, I'm usually good at putting my feet in other people's shoes and seeing myself there. But this one is difficult for the simple fact that this is way out of my league. This is far out of my lane. This is way past my comfort zone. I'm being honest. So I really don't know what to say because I can't really fit myself in. But thinking from the side of your sister as a sibling who would be wronged by, because you did wrong. You did wrong by your sibling. You know, be honest. The first time you did this, right, with him, you should have ran straight to your sister. Maybe this was a time for you to come out as gay to your sister and make your sister know. But you should have ran straight to your sister. You would have saved your sister from actually walking down the aisle, so to speak, marrying this individual. And years later, they have beautiful children, like you say, a beautiful life, a beautiful family. I'm guessing they're flourishing together. Your sister is super happy. I think you could have saved all that. But now that's in hindsight, because it happened already. It's gone. What do you do at this point, years later? And who's to say your sister is going to believe you? Because she's happy. She's happy now, you know. She have children too with this person. So now this is not like they just can just walk and just go up their separate ways. Oh, you had something with my brother, or one day stand, one night stand many years ago before we even got married. I don't want you no more. And they have children together. And they built a life together. So you, my friend, every time I do these stories, I remember, oh, what tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. I don't read anywhere in here where he said he went to the wedding. I don't know if you went to the wedding. I'm guessing you did. So you know you did that with her husband. You know that part in the wedding, that was your second chance to mash up everything. Sometimes, I believe that sometimes you have to just outright just tell the truth. I'm straight Virgo, like outright just say it and make everybody know it and just deal with it from there. It's kind of like if I was to be cheating and get a woman on the side pregnant. I've always said this, right? That all my children must know each other. How are you going to do that if you're in a marriage with a woman who it's a monogamous marriage? And then you go have some picnic on the side. I would eventually just say it outright. And it might mash up my marriage that I'm in now, but my children will know each other. So there's some things in life that you just have to bite the bullet, so to speak, and just let it out. Wanna tell me if I'm wrong? Put it in the comment section. Tell me if I'm wrong. Shouldn't he have bit the bullet? But the real question is, do I tell her now? He says, I honestly think that he's still cheating on my sister with other men. Yes, because he's a down low guy, and I think he probably is too. And you know it, because you are down low still. He is very much a part of our family now. My parents love him, and he is the perfect father to their grandchildren, or to their children. What's weird to me, though, is after that one encounter that he never flirted with me ever again, and it makes me wonder, how did he know that I was that way? Great question. Me not get into that. I can't answer that. They say it takes one to know one, like you said earlier. I guess that's what that was. I am not feminine in any way, and I don't give off any gay hints. To this day, my family, including my sister, thinks I am a dog. D-O-G-G-G. Or, as they say in Jamaican culture, a gallus. My biggest fear is that he will one day give my poor sister AIDS or something. Your sister is probably naive as hell. You know what's crazy is there are probably red flags with her man that would tell her that he is. I would tell everybody out here, your red flags can sometimes come from your overthinking and your own paranoia or your own insecurities, or from things that have been done to you in the past that you're bringing over that baggage into your new relationship. But I would also say red flags, if you see them waving and they wave again and again, explore them. Try to find out if it's just you tripping or if this red flag is real. Because most of the time red flags end up being real. Your poor sister is probably sitting there watching all kinds of red flags waving. And she is oblivious because she doesn't want to mash up her happy life. Ask your audience, what would they do, SouFLo? Sometimes I feel like telling her, especially when we are having our disagreements. I said, don't do that. Don't throw this stuff in her face. This is a lot to unpack. You wrote this to me, and this is a lot for me to unpack, and I don't know you. So this is going to be a lot to unpack for your sister if the day comes where you decide to tell her that. Do you destroy her family now, though? I think you should have from the beginning. I think you could have along the way. Do you destroy her family now, years later? I'm interested to know what my audience members are going to say. He doesn't flirt with you anymore. He's being all manly man now. But you are the children's uncle. They're your niece and nephews or whatever she has. You're the children's uncle. And he has to know that. And you come around still. I'm leaving this one right here. I'm done unpacking. Y'all handle this mess. Leave your comments in the comment section below. And like I said before, please be constructive. Okay? So what you have to say, express yourself, but be constructive in what advice you give. Because this is a real person who's going to really read this. And I don't want others who want to send us their SouFlo letters to not do it because we're rude and disrespectful and whatever the case may be. For the rest of the people out there, if this is your first time tuning in, our Gmail is SouFLoTV, SOUFLO TV, like South Florida TV, @gmail.com. Send us all your dear SouFlos. I will read them. I may not get to them as quickly as possible, but I do archive them and I will read them. Y'all sort this out. I'll see you tomorrow morning, if God spare life, on Morning Thoughts live, where we will go live. Alright? Enjoy your day. I'm out. Peace.
Like SouFlo, y'all watch we like TV, SouFlo.
Yo, my SouFlo TV audience, listen, your boy is officially a ambassador / influencer promoter on this Vibes Island cruise experience. We're talking about luxury dance hall cruise. I'm already locked in and booked and everything. A lot of you said, SouFlo, as soon as you drop your promo link then or code, we booking. Well, see it ya, look on the flyer and then look on me on the flyer. Oh, me look so good. Me show off, you see, me show off. I was actually waiting on them to send me this flyer. Yes, me I gotta talk from behind the flyer for a minute first because me just feel like I look so good on the flyer. And then I'm trying to show you the promo code. The promo code is SOUFLO. Listen, we're big people. Let's get out there and have some fun. And you got a lot of time to book. Okay? You have a whole heap of time for booking up. But me I go talk and keep on talking because I want you to keep on looking at me on this flyer. It is official. I am there. Me dede, pa my ears. I actually just watched a video walkthrough of my suite that I'm gonna be staying in on this luxury dancehall cruise. It not gonna normal enough. We are shooting a movie out there. May I tell you this right now. So you see, if you miss it, to miss it to this, but you might as well just leave Earth after this. Anyway, let me get off from behind this and talk to you a little bit on screen. See, you're gonna be seeing more of these videos with more explanation and more breakdown of what this is going to be all about. I'm telling you right now, take that promo code right there, SOUFLO, and go on over to the vibesislandxp.com and book now, right now. It'll full up fast enough. And soon there won't be any room left, and you don't have to pay up front right now for everything. You can book it on a little installment and pay monthly, and by the time the cruise is here, which you have until April of next year, but it's gonna get here faster than you think, you will have it paid off and you will be skinning teeth boarding that ship and heading out to sea to have some fun on a private island somewhere. Hold on, man. May have a whole heap more details for you. Just stay tuned. All right? Take the promo code, book right now.
Yeah, we are listening. One SouFlo for the app. Big up my brother SouFlo. We outside. Victory! From poverty to big dreams, and all my dog them with me. SouFlo they are with me. Woo woo!
Y'all watch we like TV, SouFlo. Y'all watch we like TV, SouFlo.